Yo, what is going on, everybody? It is theRealKaaayle back with some MK1 content. Hope you guys are doing great. And you know, the stress test is now done. We cannot play MK1 anymore. It's been a great weekend, and it first started out as Doom because, as you guys know from earlier, if you follow me on Twitter, if you follow, you subscribe to the channel and you saw my posts, I did not receive a code to play this demo. Actually, a good friend of mine since my high school days, he actually got into the stress test, and he came over and downloaded the stress test onto my PlayStation, so I was able to play it over the weekend. Shouts out to him. Once again, link to his Twitch channel is in the description. Shout out to Resist TV, holding it down for the boy, knowing how much I love Mortal Kombat. So he hooked me up with the access to this thing so I could give you guys some good videos. So shout out to him. But let me talk about that for a second. As much as I, was excited to see people play this game, man, it sucks for some people who just couldn't get in. And it would have been nice if a lot more people could have experienced this. But this is how things are gonna be. It makes it seem more like a hot item overall when not everyone can get in. It's like you gotta get invited to the club. You gotta be exclusive. But I digress, y'all. It was pretty heartbreaking to not receive a code. But anyways, I'm here to talk about what I think of this game after spending, I think I spent about 10 hours with the game over the weekend. I played 3 of the 4 characters. I used 3 of the 3 cameos. Kenshi was a bit too difficult for me, but we're going to come back to that. But overall, my impressions on MK1 after playing it for myself, this game is going to be great. And if you're a Mortal Kombat fan, and if you did not like MK11 because of how limited that game felt, how stifled the characters felt in terms of like combo potential and the things that you can do, this game is going to be it. This is going to be the game that you wanted. This game might get you back into Mortal Kombat, and for those of us who dealt with MK11 for such a long time, this is going to be it, because their gameplay philosophy with this game is freedom and creativity, and there's that and more in spades in Mortal Kombat 1. So it's a very loose game. I know that term is being used a lot when NRS is talking about this game, and yeah, I have to confirm that it's very loose. There's so much that you can do in this game. It really does make MK11 look very boring. It's gonna be kind of challenging to come back to that, not gonna lie. As much as I love MK11 and I thought it was a fun game and I had a lot of fun with it, this is the complete opposite. And that's one of the things I love about NRS. I love the fact that they are able to create different experiences, and their games come out fairly frequent. I don't know what's the next game gonna come out, but their games come out often enough so like if you didn't like the other one, there's gonna be another one that can probably tickle your fancy. But this game right now, this is fantastic. I remember a lot of people complained about the graphics. Of those people, once again, absolutely crazy. This game is magnificent looking. It's running on Unreal 4. Graphics are amazing in this game. Absolutely amazing. I wouldn't say it doesn't have the leap like from MKX to 11, but it's really the art style and the lighting that's doing wonders for this game right now. So everything just looks more colorful. Things are just popping a lot more. The lighting is really good. The effects, the particle effects are fantastic, and the audio and the sound design, that's something I don't think people are talking about enough. The audio and the sound design is amazing. Just for example, like Sub-Zero, he pulls out the spinal cord with the head attached to it and he starts hitting people with it. The sound effect of him hitting people with that is so good. It's so different from like a regular punch, a regular kick. Like regular pokes now just sound like they're really breaking a bone, and like the projectile attacks have very unique sounds, like Kitana's moveset. It's very satisfying to listen to. With that being said, let's start getting into some of the critiques of the game. The sound design, I guess, in this build of the game, it's not completely finished. There were some moments I noticed specifically with grab animations, like the sound would like cut out, or like it would just not play at all. So hopefully they get that smoothened out by the time the full game launches, or even when the beta comes out. So I'm definitely thinking this is a older build of the game, because you couldn't even change your settings. Just want to let you guys know this. Hopefully for the beta they rectify this. You couldn't even change your settings or your controller. So in MK11 you could have changed like your input timing window from short, medium to long, right? You couldn't even change that, and I think negative edge was on by default. And I noticed if you see a lot of gameplay out there of people just dropping combos or getting something completely different, that's the reason why, because negative edge is on by default, and you have to like release the button, or like something weird, release check is basically on. And you know, with these games everybody turns that junk off. I don't know why they have it on by default in a lot of their games. You just get all sorts of weird inputs. Like, I swear to God, sometimes when I would try and do like a fireball, it would just not come out for whatever reason, and it made me feel weird. It made me feel very weird. But yeah, man, the gameplay is fantastic in this game. The combos, the mechanics. You have the traditional meter system. Meter builds very quickly in this game, guys. It builds very, very fast in this game. The cameos So let's talk about that. The cameos were a lot of fun. I'm typically not used to assist fighting games, actually. The only one that I've seriously played was Dragon Ball FighterZ. That was the only one I seriously put time into and tried to get good at. And I liked it. That was a good game. I stopped playing that game for other reasons, though. But I'm not used to it. This is the first time Mortal Kombat has had assists built into its core gameplay structure, and I have to say they've done a great job with it. It's good enough to like for you to understand if you've played other fighting games with assists, but this game definitely has a learning curve for sure. This game doesn't feel as pick up and play as MK11 did. MK11 was stripped away a lot of things that you could have done in that game to really dumb down the gameplay, to invite, I guess, more newcomers, but at a higher level. MK11 was very hard to be good at because everything was very straight and to the point. The higher level, you had to make very small micro adjustments in MK11 to be really good at it, and that's another one of the reasons why a lot of people didn't stick around with MK11 for as long as they did, or they fell out of love with it. But this game, there's definitely a learning curve. So for those of you open to hop online and start bodying people, start taking dubs, it might not be that way for you, because everything in this game feels completely different from all the other Mortal Kombats. It really does. But it does have the skeleton of MK11, and by that I mean the movement. So let's talk about that now. So the movement in this game was the number one thing that I did not like in this version of the game, and I really hope that they fix it come release, or even come the beta, because I want to see some alterations with that as soon as possible. The walk speed in this game is great. I think it's a bit better than MK11, or it's just like that. And that's what I mean by this game has the bones of MK11. All about whiff punishes. There's not too many like overhead low strings. Sub-Zero did have a low that he could have comboed if he had used the assist. Sub-Zero did have an overhead launcher that was unsafe. But Kenshi, to my knowledge, Kenshi, Liu Kang, Kitana, they basically had highs, mids, and a couple of lows. That's basically it. Everything was based around whiff punishing. So the whiff punishing neutral play from MK11 is still there, and I'm glad there is still that. But the reason why I did not like the movement is the dashing. The dashing in this game is terrible in its current form. dashes are completely useless. They have a very, very slow, they start up so slow. I feel like they have a lot of recovery too. And on top of that, the distance that you move is just ridiculous. You barely move. You're actually just better off walking. I don't think walking should be better than dashing, personally. I don't think walking should be better than dashing. You also can't dash block in this game, so there isn't like wave dashing like in Mortal Kombat 11. Well, there is wave dashing, but it doesn't work the same way. You have to like push down as you're advancing, but it looks so silly because you don't go anywhere when you dash. You don't go anywhere at all in this game. And with all that stuff being said, it really does make this game very slow, and the game does feel very slow because of it. When you're doing all the crazy combos and calling in the assists and all that stuff is happening, the game looks fast as hell. The game is actually tricking you that the game speed is quick, but the game speed really is not quick, guys. I'll even go as far as to say that MK11 is actually a faster game than MK1 in its current form. And that could be for, one, the walk speed is being very slow, but I also think it could be because, you know, MK11's older. We're very used to that game already. There's wave dashing. The more people are comfortable with the game, the more it's going to open up and people are going to be more confident in how they move and like taking risks and stuff like that. But overall, the walk speed and the dashing needs to be improved. It needs to be improved. Actually, let me rephrase that. The walk speed, they could keep it the same. Dashes need to be improved. It even affects the combo game overall. I remember in the stress test of MK11, you couldn't get dash combos in that version of the game. You could get dash combos sort of here, but they're very weird. I especially noticed this with Liu Kang. Like, there's a certain buttons and strings that he has where it's like, okay, they clearly want you to dash up and get another confirm off of this, but you can't do it because he doesn't move when you dash, and you're just barely touching the opponent. It makes you feel like you're gonna drop your combo. So please, NRS, if you're watching this, anybody from NRS is watching this, you guys 100% need to improve the dashes in this game. Please, the number one thing. I would even go as far as to say, if it's not improved dramatically by the time this game comes out, it's gonna ruin the game. I really, really, really do think the dashes need to be improved. Because it was an online stress test, I found some matches where, you know, had some turbulence. It's to be expected. You know, the netcode wasn't as clean as MK11, but for the most part, it was really good. Connections were really good. Barely had any issue. Most of it definitely was desync and Wi-Fi players. If there was anyone that had like over, I would say anyone that had over 150 ping, that was like an automatic decline. But anything less than like 120 and up, they honestly played okay. And you know, if you're on Ethernet, everybody on Ethernet never had a problem with, but Wi-Fi players, they gave me the most problems. So once again, get a freaking Ethernet cable, guys. But desync issues were pretty common. I did see some glitches with like specifically on the Johnny Cage Mansion stage. The camera will like pull far back to like, you can see like black borders on the screen, and the game was just desyncing and the screen started shaking whenever things happened. And I guess the rollback with what we're doing on the screen, you know, just a couple glitches like that. Nothing that they can't fix. Nothing that is not to be expected in a early build of a online fighting game. Next thing, so other mechanics that are in the game. Yeah, meter builds the same way as it normally did. No more regenerating bar, but it builds pretty quickly. There's a lot of meterless options, so even if you don't have bar, you feel like you can do a lot with your characters. Plus you have your cameo assists. Your cameos come back fairly quickly, but it's not like super fast where you can be careless with it. It come back quick enough so that you can maintain your freedom and that you'll be able to do your combos basically on demand, but you need to use them at very specific times. And You still need to watch the meter. You still need to watch the meter overall. Speaking of which, speaking of the cameos, the speed of the game, and going back to the speed of the game, it's not just the movement speed that makes this game feel slow at times. I really do think some of the animations need to be sped up as well. Some of the animations in this game just play for too long. Specifically, a good example of this would be Kano's forward throw. Kano's forward throw, for those of you who don't know, the way throws work in this game, your forward throw for your character will always be your cameo, and then your back throw will be the character that you're playing as. So if you have Kano as a cameo, he does his throw. And his throw, while it looks very cool and brutal, he takes forever to get off the screen, man. He absolutely takes forever to get off the screen, and he just lingers there. And your character is like watching the thing unfold, and then your opponent's character is laying on the ground helpless, and they take forever to get back off the ground. It literally kills the flow of the game. They need to speed up some of these animations, specifically with the cameos. Just get them off the screen a lot faster. And yeah, like I said, it's gonna overall affect the pacing of the game. I'm not saying I want this game to be a complete hyper speed slugfest. That's not what I'm saying. I basically want this game to just speed up a bit, because the faster the game is, there's going to be a lot more decision making that you have to make on the fly. And I think that's what makes these fighting games very exciting. And I think that's one of the reasons why Street Fighter 6 is very exciting. There's so many decisions that you as a player have to make based on what's going on, but you have to do them very quickly, so quick to the point that you can't even linger on that bad mistake you made before. I think it would just make the game flow a lot better, and then once everybody starts getting used to it, you end up in like a flow state. That's how you know you're getting good at the game, where you're not even thinking about it too much. You're just reacting. Your fingers are just going at it. And I honestly, later in like literally the final day of the stress test, that's kind of how I started feeling with the game. Was stop thinking about it less, and then I was just going. Maybe we do need to spend more time with it, but overall the speed needs to go up with animations and the dashes. Fatal Blow. So Fatal Blow's back. I'm actually glad it's back. That's one of the things that I wanted to come back for the MK1 overall. But I'm happy to say they're severely nerfed. But there's one thing that really bothers me about it. And that is the pushback. So they got it right. They got most of it right, and it kind of bothers me that they just messed up on this one aspect. So Fatal Blows they work the same way, where they activate once you hit 30% health or less. It's not tied to your bar at all. It's tied to your health, and you get it when you have 30% HP or less. So when you use your Fatal Blow, unlike in MK11 where it just starts up and the animation plays, right? This thing has like a big startup animation, a cinematic startup animation, similar to like Supers in Street Fighter, or like the startup animation of the Super in Injustice 2, something like that. That way you can see what's happening, and you can be like, oh crap, they're using their Super, let me block so that I can punish them. Or let me do something. Let me hit a button to stuff them. That's another thing that you could do with Fatal Blow. You can stuff Fatal Blows. They don't have armor on startup. Some of them, they have armor, but their armor is not as soon as you hit that Fatal Blow button. Their armor comes much later. So I love that. I've stuffed so many Fatal Blows in this build of the game. Right now, I don't think they want you to be using your Fatal Blow like how you did in MK11, where you just throw it out as a panic button. They want you to use Fatal Blows as a combo, as a game ender in a combo. That's how they want you to use it. They want you to use it at the end of combos, and on top of that, you can actually breaker Fatal Blows, guys. Yeah, you can stop a Fatal Blow with your breaker. Combo breakers are back. No more breakaway. Another positive for this game. You don't have to worry about someone falling out of your combo, getting up off the ground and punishing you. Another thing that they rightfully corrected. They've basically been listening to everything that we've been complaining about, y'all, and that's why I think this game is gonna have an amazing future. But yes, fatal blows, you can just break them. If you have 3 bars a meter and your cameo up, you can break her any move in this game, including fatal blows. It's awesome. I like that fatal blows are weak. You only should be using them at the end of a combo. And yes, just keep that in mind. It doesn't cost 2 bars like how it traditionally does in Mortal Kombat when breakers were a thing. They cost your full bar, so 3 bars a meter, and you need to have your cameo up. It's very expensive. Your cameo is the one causing the animation to break. So they run in and they hit your opponent, stopping the combo. The game resets to neutral. And it's brilliant. It's brilliant, man. Very happy to have breakers back. I wish you could have had it in MK11, but they had other plans, and those plans were not good. But lastly, so back to fatal blows. Yeah, the pushback is still there, y'all. It's very, very difficult to punish some fatal blows on block. I remember Kenshi, he was one that gave me a tough time because a couple people would throw them out, and I'm like, okay, let me block it, since I saw him throw it out. And then when I block it, I'm getting pushed back damn near jumping distance, and then I can't get in to punish him. And even if it is negative enough for me to punish, the dashes are so bad, so I can't dash up and kill him for running up and doing his fatal blow randomly. So it sucks, man. It still sucks. They need to either take away the pushback or make them more negative. Whichever one works, I say take away the pushback. I don't think a super move needs to have so much pushback. It's just unnecessary. It really is unnecessary to have all that. And that's really about it. They still come back if they're blocked or on whiff. I think it's about the same amount of time it takes for them to come back, but you know, it is what it is. I think it's fine because you can breaker them. There's a lot more ways to deal with them compared to MK11. They're definitely much weaker. Don't worry about it, guys. I don't think you're going to be getting random fatal blowed too much in this one. But yeah, overall, those are my thoughts on the MK1 stress test, y'all. Just to recap. So number 1, movement speed, specifically dashes, need to be improved dramatically. I remember they did the same thing for the MK11 when they had the stress test. When they had the beta, they buffed it literally twice before release because we complained about it so much. So let's run it up again, guys. Let's complain about it a ton this time. Let's complain. Let's get our movement back to where it was so we can get some nice wave dashing, get some nice dash combos in MK1. Is going to open up the game a lot more with its already amazing combo system. Number 2, you know, a couple bugs and glitches, audio issues, audio sync issues, desync issues. Number 3, fatal blows, no pushback, please. Absolutely no pushback overall. And truth be told, that's all I can really think about with this game. That's all I can really think. I can't really think of too much. I can't complain about any of the characters. Sub-Zero feels very great. He was the most used character on the stress test because he was the easiest. He's also freaking Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero is back. I did not like him in MK11. Really, very disappointing that I didn't like him in 11 because he's one of my favorite Mortal Kombat characters. So I think I'm going to have a Sub-Zero in this game, y'all. Liu Kang surprisingly was a lot of fun. I wish I recorded some of my better Liu Kang footage for you guys. I got a lot better with him towards the end of the stress tests, and his stuff is a lot of fun. I've never found Liu Kang fun in Mortal Kombat previously, except for this game. His stuff looks very flashy. The stuff that he can do, it does a lot of damage. It's very satisfying to hit, but there's a decent amount of execution with it, and that's why it feels very rewarding. It's just like how Liu Kang should be. There's stuff that you can do very easily, and then there's stuff that you really need to practice with. Kitana, I'm typically not a Kitana player, y'all, so I don't really know what's going on with her too much, but she did feel pretty fun. I absolutely love her design. She gets a lot of combos meterlessly in this game. I don't think you I don't think I've ever really spent a bar when I was playing with her to combo. I've always done all my stuff meterlessly, so she's gonna have a lot of meter for breaker. She's gonna have a lot of meter for armor wake ups. That's another great thing that they have in this game. The wake up system is back to how it was in basically MKX. You wake up, a wake up attack has armor to stop your opponent's pressure. You spend a bar for that, and then if you just do the regular move, it's no armor, but you can get the person off of you if it's invincible. But you know, if they block it, you're probably gonna die because that move is most likely unsafe. And Kenshi was the least played character in the beta. If you ran into a Kenshi, that person I honestly didn't run into any good Kenshis. That person honestly was, I hate to say it, kind of free, because that character is very complicated. Kenshi fans out there, I hope you guys really like the character, because Kenshi is gonna take a lot of work to play in this game. He's not the same Kenshi like how he was in MK9 or MKX. He's a full-on puppet character now. He still has, you know, the typical Kenshi stuff. He's more like a mid-range zoner with you know, long-ranging attacks, but to be really good with him, you need to master the ability to use his ghost and him at the same time. And I've seen some crazy stuff from Sonic Fox with him. Of course, the Fox is the one to figure him out. You got to be a world-class fighting game player to figure out a character like Kenshi in only a matter of hours. But he's used to playing puppet characters from other fighting games. So Kenshi fans, I don't know if you guys are prepared for how much work you're going to have to do to make this character work in MK1. He's crazy. I think he's going to be very good, but he's going to be like a character specialist type of character. So all in all, man, I had a great time with MK1's online stress test. Let me know what you guys think about the stress test. Post sound off in the comment section. Share this video. Get it out to the devs. I encourage you guys to give your feedback as well. That's the whole point of this thing. Don't treat this as a demo. I'm telling you guys this. Don't treat this thing as a demo. Treat this as a way to give feedback on the game. If you guys really care about Mortal Kombat, it's time to let them know how you feel about it. And once again, I apologize. Well, it's not my fault, but I do feel bad for the people that didn't get a chance to play. Hopefully you don't have to wait too long. You know, the beta is coming in August, the full beta. Make sure you get your pre-order in. Pre-order before August comes, y'all, so you can get access to the beta. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about Mortal Kombat 1. Do you agree with some of my points? Do you disagree? Do you have other things that I forgot to mention or you think I should have mentioned? Sound off in the comment section below. Have a nice day, y'all. Stay real. Peace.